Understanding exempt payee status is crucial for businesses and contractors to avoid unnecessary tax withholding. When you know the rules, you can ensure compliance while maximizing your cash flow. Backup withholding is a tax mechanism where payers must withhold a percentage of certain payments made to recipients for federal income tax purposes. This applies when taxpayers fail to provide correct information to payers, report all taxable interest and dividends, owe back taxes, or have mismatched identification numbers in IRS records. For non-exempt payees, 28% of payments must be withheld. So what exactly is an exempt payee? Simply put, it's an entity that isn't subject to backup withholding, even in circumstances where it would typically be required. Most corporations, financial institutions, government entities, and certain nonprofit organizations qualify as exempt payees. However, sole proprietors and individuals usually don't qualify for this exemption. To be classified as exempt for W-9 purposes, you must fall into specific categories outlined by the IRS. These include corporations, financial institutions, government entities, real estate investment trusts, registered securities dealers, and tax-exempt organizations. The complete list appears in the instructions for completing a standard W-9 form. The W-9 form serves as the primary document for establishing exempt payee status. When providing services to businesses as a contractor, rather than an employee, you'll be asked to complete this form. It verifies your taxpayer identification number and allows you to declare whether you're exempt from backup withholding. If you don't check the exempt box, you're automatically considered non-exempt. Limited liability companies face special considerations regarding exempt status. An LLC's classification depends on how it's taxed. Single-member LLCs taxed as sole proprietorships and multi-member LLCs taxed as partnerships don't automatically qualify as exempt payees. However, LLCs that elect to be taxed as corporations can qualify. To claim exemption, an LLC must check the appropriate classification box on Form W-9 and provide a valid employer identification number. Compliance with IRS regulations is essential for both payers and payees. Businesses making payments must collect accurate W-9 forms, verify tax identification numbers, and maintain proper records. Failure to meet these requirements can result in penalties and increased tax liability. Claiming exempt status incorrectly carries serious consequences. The IRS may impose fines for providing false information, apply the 28% withholding rate to all payments, delay payment processing, and subject you to tax audits. To avoid these issues, ensure you properly classify your tax status before submitting your W-9 form. While federal rules govern backup withholding, individual states may have additional requirements. Some states impose lower withholding thresholds, require additional forms, or classify exempt payees differently. Reviewing your state's Department of Revenue guidelines is advisable to ensure full compliance. To summarize, backup withholding applies when the IRS requires tax withholding due to missing or incorrect taxpayer information. Exempt payees include corporations, financial institutions, government entities, and certain nonprofits. WYB. 9 forms help determine exempt status and are essential for tax reporting. LLC exemption depends on tax classification, and incorrect claims can result in penalties. Understanding these rules helps businesses maintain compliance while avoiding unnecessary withholding.